All right, we're starting turn 6, and some key things are happening. Starting on turn 7, you can see that that's when every turn is going to be a full day. Well, it's 3 turns, but this turn box will be a full day. And different things will happen in the morning versus evening. The other thing is we're going to start getting a second event on turn 7. We're going to have to get Japanese artillery is going to fire on us again. And raids are going to start happening. And the letters, the action letters will start happening. So many things are going to start happening at turn 7. But technically speaking, scenario 1 is just these 6 turns. And if you were playing just scenario 1, right, which is so far all we've done, they do have victory conditions. So I wanted to make you aware of those. So if you were playing just this scenario, we would, how would we do? I still love the philosophy. Not winning is losing. The U.S. side cannot suffer more than 50 step losses total. All right, so I guess I could have been keeping track of 50 step losses. I don't think we've had 50 step losses, that's for certain. Additionally, at the end of the scenario, the Japanese must not be able to trace communication from any position on Suribachi to another. So basically, we'd have to cut off their communication. And I'll show you that in a second. And then at least one position in Airfield 1 and one position in Sector 3 must also be controlled. Okay, so technically that's quite a challenge. And that's actually interesting. Okay, so what that means, to cut off their communication means we would have to take green. Green for sure has to go down. And then your infantry units, if they have 3 or more pips to them, strength, they cut off communication in every space around them. So communication for Japanese is any position has to be able to trace a path to a black hilltop. Now, technically, these guys can trace a path to those black hilltops. So those would still be in communication. But Suribachi, of course, is the whole objective after this first opening day. And so this is the headquarters. And so if we took green and then made sure that there was no pathway for them to get through, then yes, we will have cut them off from communication. So the only thing that we're missing is you need to take a spot in Zone 3 or Sector 3, and you needed to take a spot in the airport, which we did. I mean, you can look there. There's a green and an orange. We took them both. So I guess, theoretically, we could have just marched along here. I mean, there's some checkered spots, but we could take out purple probably pretty easily. And Sector 3, of course, is across this line, so this red zone is not going to help us. The other cool thing is, this is an artillery, right? So it would have been nice to maybe go take that out. But it looks simple, but when you start looking at the fire dots, it's not as easy to get to them. And yes, you see me, I'm marching over because I want to take this out, but I'm not going to have it out by the end of this turn. So I would, for the opening scenario, I would have lost. Now, granted, I don't think I even paid attention to my objectives. So if I would have known this is where I need to go, I probably would have been a little more aggressive. Because you can see I was actually trying to take all of Sector 2. I'm trying to take these spots way up north. None of those were my objective. So I didn't need to do any of that. So if you're playing this scenario 1, and that's all you're hoping to do, then by all means, change the objectives a little bit. I think if you follow a similar strategy to what I've been doing, you're going to do fine. They did say it was an introductory scenario, and I would agree. It's an introductory scenario. We haven't faced a single elite Japanese unit yet, and when we do, you'll never be able to sleep well again. So I know I'm being funny and facetious there, but when you're playing scenario 6, scenario 6 does not have any interim victory conditions. So it doesn't say you have to, succeed at scenario 1 before you can, continue. So this one, you just have a simple objective. You have to take every spot on the board. So, yeah. Now, I'm still trying to get confirmation on Board Game Geek. Scenario 1 granted us those extra artillery attacks from naval and airstrikes. And I'm trying to make sure that that really is what we were supposed to do. Because as you may recall, Scenario 1 also prevented us from going after Mount Suribachi. And so, do we not get those things? And if so, I would have had less artillery strikes, but then maybe I could have gone. You see what I mean? So there's some choices there, but I think in some ways you can play this campaign where you could actually do this scenarios in almost like a string progression. Like you could play scenario 1 and then you need to win, right? And then you just immediately after that, you go into scenario 2, which is Mount Suribachi. And then you need to win that one. And so then by the time you get to scenario 6, you've already accomplished the other. Like it's almost like a campaign, right? Where you have to just do one scenario after the next after the next. I think that's a pretty cool idea. It's definitely not what the rule book says to do. So don't take me on my word there, but I think it's a neat idea. So anyways, let's play. And we're doing scenario 6, by the way. So we're playing the whole shebang here. And I just want to see how this plays out. Starting next turn, it is going to get, the turns are going to take a lot longer. And so if I can somehow be less long-winded and the turns get longer, we might work out it'll be the same. So anyways, thank you for your patience. Let's get started. So turn 6, right here. It's a purple, and I don't think purple fires there. And if it does, it's this purple over here, which we've already taken. Yep, no purple. Okay, so let's get some stuff landed here. We have so many things. We have this HW and an HQ and an engineer. See, that's where the engineer helps because it can go with the HW, but do I really want to put the engineer with them? I don't know. I truly don't know. There's so many units to land. I'm going to just go ahead and land 2 and leave everybody else out here. High and dry. I really don't think there's a lot of risk of them getting hit, although the artilleries are coming. So these units are all going to get hammered. But you know what? If I don't let these units stay out here, then these units are going to get hammered because it's whoever's closest to Suribachi is what's going to get hit. So, or it'll be these units because they go after the beach next. So I'm going to leave these out here, and yes, we're going to take some hits, but somebody's got to take the hits if we draw a bad artillery card. Okay, so then we move on to this one. No drift. And I'll go ahead and land them right there. And then blue 2 is a hit because it's got a black here. So no matter what, it's hit. And orange obviously was not a hit. So it's actually this, it's a circle, not the, so anyways, circle gets hit. So let's go take a step loss on that one. And yeah, now we got to land. And this particular spot is pure green. So nobody else can hit it. All right, so we can land 2 infantry there, then everybody else is going to get hit again. So I'm going in. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay, so I'm going in and I'm going to just take the automatic disruption on those 2 because now they can't get hit. If I would have stayed out here, this black would have torn them apart. So I took the automatic disruption, and in fact I'm going to switch this around so the HQ is not disrupted, but the other infantry are, and then the HQ and infantry will be on top. So, oh yeah, and which side of the disruption are we doing here? I guess the yellow or the brown side is what we're doing. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we finished the amphibious phase. It is turn 6. We do get a... this is the kind that we have to use this turn. We do get some. I think if you time the scenario correctly, you can have these exposed and then you can use them to just beat the crap out of it, but I didn't do that. Next is the event phase. So Japanese depth is getting added, and ironically enough, it's going to end up right back on this green spot again. So let me go grab another depth marker, and they get one, and it's unrevealed. But now we got something to bombard, right? So since we have to use our naval and artillery and airstrikes, that's a perfect place to use it. And so they're done with their event, and they get to fire. So let's not draw brown or green. And we didn't. Haha, that's like reading minds there. Red, nothing happens with red. Actually, no, something does happen with red. So let's look at this. We have a red here, and I gotta check its fire zones. It goes to here, and it's all leader units. So leader, leader, leader. So no hit for the pumpkin eater. And then we have brown. I'm sorry, purple. That's what I meant to say. There's nobody for purple. This purple is close, but not close enough. And then there's a purple over there. So let's check that. But see, that purple only hits right around himself. And actually, he does go one step out, but that still doesn't hurt us. So purple doesn't do anything. And then we have a gold. And this is an interesting one because if black can do the action, it will. And this is an action that a black can do, and that is it's going to kill a leader. And that is a pickle, because I'll explain to you why. First of all, we have a leader here, right? So that's an issue. And then secondly, we have a leader here. That's an issue. But here's why we're being saved. The black position has to be within 3 spaces of that gold position. And so the only gold position that can fire is this one right here. And there's no black space within 3 of that one. And so we got saved. Otherwise, that's the kind of situation where my little leader rush strategy would backfire on us and I would be crying and sobbing. So we got to look at this gold here, though. And see, he only goes to here for his fire zone, and then to the brown. And if you look, we are sitting here on green, but we have nobody in his fire zone. So he doesn't hit anybody. Actually, let me check one more time. Yeah, because right here we're standing, and there's no gold there. There's just brown and green. So now see that's an F for a fortification. What's that doing in the middle of nothing? Was there really supposed to be a fortification there? Yeah, there's no F there. I don't understand that. I mean, this map clearly says that there's supposed to be a fortification there, but there's not a fortification F on here. So, so my apologies. See, there's no F here, but there's an F there. Actually, let's look. I got it on the email. So this is, what position would this be? This is, well, see, this can't be real because the F's only exist on positional places. This is not even a positional place. That's just like a random F that got assigned for no reason. Yeah, I think we ignore that. It's just nothing. All right, so they have not been damaging us much, but if you bear with me here, we've also been avoiding the crap out of black and being very conservative. My HQ rush strategy does help us to avoid some of these problems, but I can't do it forever because I will run out of turns. That's the first thing. And then the second thing, you know, I'm sort of turtling is the right strategy here that I'm. And my turtling actually would have caused me to lose scenario 1. If you looked at those objectives, we already talked about that. But I'm very proud that we made it through another Japanese fire phase and we survived. It's not going to be as easy though, because that M would have killed us, that purple M. So these letters are coming. And I think this is sort of like, this is easy mode. And now it's going to be throttled up. All right, so U.S. action phase. It's happening now. When we ended when we ended the amphibious phase, we were supposed to get new items on the beach, so that way our artillery strike can damage them. So game turn 7 is the next turn. So we need the heavy weapon 24 in Y or B. So I can put it in Y or B, and I'm going to put it in B, largely because he's the 4th Division, and this is where the 4th Division is, and we're going to be going that way. So it's only one unit that ended up on the water. Okay. Action phase. Peanut butter action time. Oh, by the way, congratulations to the person who got the 2 Utes reference. Yes, it is my cousin Vinny. So very well done. And I do that a lot. I quote things. So I always appreciate it when you guys pick up on them and let me know about it. Okay, so we have to do naval and airstrike right now. And so if you look at the map, there's only one target that's even eligible, and it's that one. So we'll do naval strike first, and let's do the airstrike first, and then the naval, and get it resolved here. So it's a barrage, and I got the little sheet up here for you. Let me zoom in on it a little bit, and so the airstrike is a circle, and we got a circle, and it's a green, so we don't have the green. So let's see what that turns into. We got the symbol, but not the color, and it's a strength 5, so we have a D1 and an artillery. So we would kill any artillery, there is none. The D1 means we disrupt the unit. That is pretty good. Disrupting the unit's fantastic because he has a CC requirement for close combat. So that'll help us to, you know, charge in on him and he won't be damaging us. But we're not satisfied. Let's attack with the naval gun because, well, we have both. And so you can see no green, and the naval gun is a triangle. So we didn't get anything. That was pathetic. And so if we did a 6 strength attack, we did nothing. So that didn't help. And that was all we could do. We couldn't save it. It was a use it or lose it. So we used it and we lost it. Okay, now it's attack time. I think I'm going to do what it was saying. You know, let's try to accomplish our objective. Although we're not going to be able to do it this turn. We would definitely have lost the scenario. So I'm going to take these 2 units and we're going to charge 1, 2. But that actually puts me in muff fire. So I'm not doing that yet. So here's the muff lesson. Muff being movement under fire. We're going to move this HQ unit forward. And now he is distracted and he can only fire around him for the muff part. I mean, if we drew a regular Japanese fire card, he gets to fight. And then we're going to grab these guys and go 1, 2. And now that move was free. Actually, yes. I guess technically speaking, I was in purple's fire zone and then I moved closer to purple. But I don't think that causes the muff to happen. Actually, it might. Because I'm charging purple. So this is an intense fire here. So I got to not draw purple. So I'm going to draw. And I got a purple. I even got a purple star. Ooh. So the purple star means our leader would take damage. But thankfully, leaders only take damage if they did 2 or more damage. And had I done my usual strategy where I only rushed the leader, I actually would have taken damage from that. So this guy took a hit and we will leave that alone. All right, so black is definitely a issue. So I can charge in and really try to take on black hard, but just understand that this position group has 3 units. It has 1, 2, 3. So that means he's going to do 3 damage to anything around him. So whatever I move in is going to take hits, and he's unrevealed, so he'll disrupt them too. So I have to be really careful with my strategy here. In fact, that just reminded me, he's disrupted. Okay, I don't think I want to bull rush this thing. I really don't, because whatever they hit gets disrupted. And I just realized that this is a black, isn't it? Yeah, it is. All right, so what was our fire card? Our fire card was, yeah, it was this guy, because we were talking about, so it's a diamond. So let's see if black would have hit with that diamond. And yeah, there's a diamond right there. So he would have taken another loss. So he takes another step loss. And he's also disrupted until next turn. These black ones are brutal, and I know the designer said they were, and I honestly still don't know what the right strategy is for charging them. I mean, do you just plow in with a tank? I mean, this one is doable with a tank. And there's an engineer with that guy. I mean, I could go, you know, 1, 2, but the rules say that the moment, instantaneously, the moment you violate stacking limits, it's over. So you, in the old D-Day games, you could just move right over somebody, right? And it was no big deal. Not in this one. It's very clear. I'm definitely taking a lot of losses charging that black spot. All right, let me think about it some more. I'm gonna go move over to here, and this unit, see, this bluff is gonna cut my strength in half, which hurts. So I'm actually gonna go after, I'll go after blue instead. And then this guy is already in his field of fire, and so 1, 2 is what I want to do, because I want to head towards black here. So I have to draw 2 cards, and as long as I don't get a red star, I'm okay. Oh my gosh, right there it is, red star, and so I have to stop actually. Nope, I get to draw another one. Okay. So let me explain how this plays out. So the red star means I took a hit here, and I have to go look at the color, and it's an intense fire. So that means that one of these actually took a step loss. And since the red is unrevealed, not only did I take a step loss, but I'm also disrupted. So it was massive crap. But it only hit 1 unit, so the other unit was able to keep moving. So that's why I drew a second card. All right, so that hurts. I can't really express any other way to describe it. So now I'm going to try to, I mean, do I try to bull rush him? I mean, you got to be careful because this brown is also projecting fire. This is brutal. So let's look here. You can see that brown is also firing anywhere near red. The best way to get red is through the bluff, but then you get your strength cut in half. But this brown, of course, is going to try to mow you down no matter where you go. The Japanese do have some good defenses in place. So how badly do we rush red is the question. And I could do it with a 1, 2. Now, do I have to draw a muff card? Let me look. I'm looking. Yes, I do. So it would be a red. But it would only be after the second move. So, oh, you know what? The first move is always anti-muff. Okay, so these guys move twice. So this guy still gets hit because I moved twice instead of once, but he's hit over here. And I would only draw. I would have only drawn 1 card. So, so then the second card I drew would be the one that's for this, which is no hit. So we're good. And it's because of the 1 hex rule. Everybody gets to move 1 hex, and you don't have to deal with muff or any of those kind of things. Now, you do have to do infiltration checks if you're trying to move 1 hex next to something that you're already next to. That happens. But in this situation, we're fine. Okay, I just realized we forgot to resolve an attack here. So I don't know how many turns that guy's been sitting there like that. So my apologies again. This close combat thing is always annoying. But we actually have a close combat from some previous turn we need to resolve here on green. So the unit is disrupted. It is disrupted. He has a CC marker, And you can see that we're attacking with a full strength unit and a headquarter. All right, so Japanese gets a 1 for being Japanese and 1 for the CC. And I'm going to pull out my card. He's not attacking. He's not on a terrain. So that's all he gets is 2 cards. Okay, so then we have 6 pips. So that means divide by 3. We get 2 cards for that. And then we get 1 for flamethrower. We don't have a hero and we don't have counterattack. So they go first and it's green. And so they do hit us. That hurts. So we're going to get hit and we're going to have to draw a step loss for our full strength unit. And then we also lose the top card when we're hit, which would have been a wonderful card. So now we go and we hit, but then this reinforce action happens. The reinforce happens before we hit them, and I think it's crap. It's really funny because in Palelu, they made it so the reinforce doesn't do anything if it's on the US turn, but he gets a card added. And if he has no depth marker, he draws a depth marker, and this is for Japan. This event occurs during a U.S. card play and a card has a hit. The hit and the reinforce offset each other, then it's treated as no event and no hit. So even though we had a green, it's a no event and no hit. So we did nothing to him. And then now he goes and he hit us again. And then we lost our last card. So this is a very bad situation because I thought I had him destroyed. And now we're in a situation where we have a green unit that's not even taken. And remember, I was even telling you I had that taken for the victory points. So we took a step loss. So that means we get disrupted. But remember, this was on last turn. So I'm going to say that we're able to remove that disruption this turn. It's really bizarre because it was supposed to be a turn ago. But now for this turn, I'm going to attack it again. This time with this guy. And I can attack with the HQ unit because our HQ unit did not get disrupted. It's only the unit that took damage, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's a weird rule where it says you only take damage if you get hit. U.S. units conducting a close combat are only disrupted if the unit received at least 1 step loss. So, so we're going to try again. So this guy, though, has a step loss already, and so does this. And now we're doing it for this turn. He still gets just 2 cards. And we're going to get just 2 cards because we only have 5 steps this time, and it's rounded down. And we do have a flamethrower, so we get 1 card for each of those. And it's green. And, of course, he hits us, and we lose a card that would have hit him. So we took another step loss, and this is actually brutal. This is a very tough battle. And then we go and we don't hit him, and he goes and he doesn't hit us. So he just survived another round. And this time we're disrupted in a different way. And that green unit is surviving. So I'm looking at this. We can safely be next to him here. And so he is disrupted, so we can freely move. And as you can see, I'm going to move up to there to position myself to take him maybe next turn. This one will lose its disruption marker because remember we agreed that was the previous turn. This one is disrupted for now, this turn. That does leave some spaces open, so I'm going to just charge forward. And that will allow me to free up some spots I'm gonna move these guys over this way so I can like clear the beach in this unorthodox manner, like that. That will allow me to land more units next time. And then here, I gotta do something. This is an HQ unit, which I'm going to put right into the intense fire. And these units can move, but then I only get 2 movement points. This is an intense fire, so if I moved here and then there, I have to take fire, and I don't want to do that. So I think I need to free up stuff. I do have another HQ unit here that I can move forward. So now I'm sort of putting a vice grip on him. But I do need to close combat this. And so I think I'm just going to move forward with this whole stack. And I am risking taking a hit because I'm in a black fire zone. But by moving that stack, I can then move this stack out. And then this one, I can move forward. And then this guy, I'm going to move off. Right, so this disruption goes away. And then I am finally not overstacked here. So I can finally remove my disruption. These are all basically, these 2 are starred units. This is a star unit, but then he's got stuff underneath him that could take hits, but he has 2 tanks with him. So the idea here is I'm going to try to pound the crap out of this thing. So now the question is can I close combat this? I can. He's disrupted, so I don't have to worry about barraging him. The problem is I'm only going to get 1 card because these are heavy weapon guys. No, I'll get 2 cards. I'll get 1 for the flamethrower and 1 for the hero. But that's all I would get. They only give me 2 pips for the attack. You know what I'm going to attack him just straight up with 18 strength worth of units. And I know I don't meet the CC requirement, but this attack is different now. So I have 18, he has 1. And it's an unrevealed marker. So I'm like at this level, right? And then it moves up 1 to JX. And JX is 1 depth marker is eliminated. I mean, it's really weird. So as long as you overwhelm him with strength, he doesn't even have to reveal his depth marker. That's so different than previous D-Day games. It's not even close, and that's what I'm talking about. So by doing that, I was able to remove this depth marker, and we didn't even have to look at it. I mean, it was a weak one, but so there you go. I got rid of a depth marker. And it wouldn't have disrupted him, but he was disrupted through other means, so that worked out. Black could still do some damage to us, but it worked out. Okay, so everybody else, what can I move? What can't I move? I'm looking around. I made a conscious decision not to charge black because I just don't want to take damage yet. This guy could start moving forward. But see, that's a fire zone. These are tough decisions, folks. This one, these 2 are for sure getting off of here. So this disruption marker would go away, and they're finally not disrupted anymore. Yeah. So that one's free and clear. These 2 are, this one's disrupted. And yes, we can't remove this until next turn, hence the color. So I do like that system. It's a pretty cool system. I know previous D-Day, I guess, had it too, and I just never followed it. Okay, so what I want to do is up here. Just trying to position my camera without knocking all my stuff over. Okay, so this guy is being attacked, and I'm going to attack him with these 3 units here, and I can even support it with these 3 because they can shoot from 2 away. See that? So I'm going to do that. So let's I mean, we're overwhelming them with strength. So we got a mortar 3. It's a machine gun nest that needs mortar, and we have the mortar from here. So that says mortar on it. It's an HQ unit. And so we have it, and I mean, even if he was triple him is 9, and we got way over 9 points. I mean, this is 16 points, and we're not getting any reduction for shooting 2 spaces away. Oh, if you're shooting 2 spaces away, you do get a reduction. It's always half, so that's actually only worth 8 points, but we still have more than enough to clobber him. So he's destroyed. He's still not an elite unit. Elite units are solid red like what you see on this side. I mean, they would be filled red like that. So anyways, this is also destroyed. And then what I'm doing is I'm going to split my unit. This one already has a damage, so we're going to move him there. And I should have saved one so we can take this. That was stupid of me. Yeah, I already committed it. I'm not going to change it. And then this guy is at risk of getting hit, but we're going to move up and see if we can take on him. And I'm just going to see if there's any positions that are less fireful. And there aren't. There's a really silly thing here. Look at this one. It's got a solid here and a half there. That's impossible. I mean, I know it's saying that if he's shooting from here, it's only a half. If he's shooting from here, it's solid. But a position group with a tunnel means he's in both places. So even if he's here, he's still hitting you from there. That's a really bizarre one. I don't think that that's possible, to be honest. I guess with some silly line of sight rules, if I'm occupying this space and he's only there, then it could change things. But I think I've always been taught or with the understanding that when you're dealing with a position group that has 2 positions connected by a tunnel, that they shoot the entire range the whole time, whether this is occupied or not occupied by U.S. forces or not. Anyways, it's an interesting situation there, but we're bull rushing it, and I think that's the end of our actions. So not as much progress as maybe I would have liked, but now we're going to the Japanese artillery phase, and we don't have to draw for Suribachi, nobody's there. So then we're going to draw for Sector 2, which is really the only sector that matters, although we do have units in Sector 3. So Sector 3 means that they're going to be cut in a third. So let's see how this plays out. It's a divide by 9. And so the artillery still is in full force. So Suribachi has 12. And then, well, actually, let's not worry about the 12. Sector 3 has 28. But, I'm sorry, 28. But he only gets 1/3 of it is used. So that's 9. So 28 minus 9, 2/3 of it is used to attack. I'm getting the math confused. I think See, we have units in Sector 3, so some of the artillery points need to be used to attack these units. So I've lost track. Is it 1/3 of it is used to attack its own sector, or is it 2/3? So I think you just take away 1/3, and then the 2/3 that are left is what's attacking Sector 2. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but I just want to make sure. I am playing this rather late at night right now, and so I probably should quit. I really am having a good time playing this game. So, it does mean, though, that my noggin and my memory is not as good. Okay, so if U.S. units are present in sector, only 1/3 of the sector's artillery points are allocated to an adjacent. Okay, so it is only 1/3. So what that means then, when we're doing the math, is we came up with 9, right? It's rounded down. So 9 plus Suribachi's 12 is 21. And then the card was an awesome card. Look, it's a 9. So 21 divided by 9, I don't even think we have to do the math. You can see that 2 units are getting hit. So that's way better than the 5 we had before. But that's how artillery works with this. So I'm going to grab 2 step loss markers. They for sure prioritize this, even though we have units knocking on their door. That's the way it always works. Is this is top priority, and so we just got to pick 2 of them and give them hits, and putting on the reds. So I'm just gonna divide it like that, so we have 2 hits like there. Okay, so that artillery's done, but we're not done. Now we got to do artillery for this one. And so we draw, and you can see it's another divided by 9, which is good. And I'm pretty sure that now we only use 2/3. I don't even know why I bothered to drop it. Artillery points firing into an adjacent sector are halved. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Okay, so it wasn't 12 plus 9. It was 9 divided by 2. So actually it's 28 divided by 2. And then that divided by 3. So we have... And here's what's crazy. It doesn't tell you whether you round up or down in this situation. Oh, the result is rounded to the nearest whole number. Okay. So we're okay. All right, so it did say it, by the way. So this gets rounded up to a 5. So now it's 5 plus 12 is 17 divided by 9, and you can see it's only 1.8. So now we got to see, does that get rounded as well? It's it doesn't say. It does say that oh. It does say round to the nearest whole number for everything. Okay, so this would be 2 hits still. So we did all that extra math for nothing. Okay, so now we do sector 3 there. Yeah. So 2/3 of the 28 is used for this next. So we gotta, so it's basically 28 divided by 3 times 2, right? So 18.6667. So we're gonna say it's 19 is what he has, right? So we draw this, and we see it divided by 8. So it's going to be 2, right? So 19 divided by 8 is 2, and then we round to the nearest whole number. So 2 units do get hit in Sector 3. And Sector 3, as you can see, headquarters are immune, so the only unit getting hit is this one. And so he'll take another loss, unfortunately. And artillery doesn't disrupt, but he was already disrupted through other mechanism. So so he just took another loss there. The HQ units don't take any damage, so nothing would have happened to them. So that's how you resolve the artillery phase. And I apologize, that's 50 minutes to take one turn. But this was quite a turn. And it's probably going to take about as long the next one. There's a lot of extra things being added, as we said. And I thank you for watching. We officially finished Scenario 1. If we were doing Scenario 1, like I said, I would have lost. This would have been a loss. But it would have been a loss with me having so much strength still on the board. It's just a wasted loss, right? You could easily see scenarios where I could have won. But that's okay. We're playing the full game here. So I'm going to keep going. I am going to take a break. It is sleep time. So I'm going to go and get this uploaded for you guys. And so starting tomorrow, we will do turn 7. And it is morning. Not that I should start the turn already, but this is going to go up. We're going to get another counter, and that's not going to be stuff we have to use or lose. So yeah, there's a lot to keep track of, and I don't want to do it while I'm tired. There's a lot of new stuff coming. This game is getting smoother, folks. Trust me. But we are now going to encounter at least 30 more things I have to look up in the rules. So please, thank you for your patience, and we will get through them. And I'm just talking about stuff like this raid phase. You know, there's just some new things we're going to have to look up. But we're getting there. We're getting there. The two major things that I think we still have to do lookups for is the raid. And then when we attack a fortification, there's some rules with that. But I actually am familiar with those. I actually read it quite closely. But yes, we would still have to look up some stuff. Anyways, enough of that. Thank you for watching. And you might be wondering, where's the tanks? The tanks are in Sector 3 and 4, and they come out whenever you draw a depth marker. In fact, I probably need to start getting a cup for those, because it's real easy to see when the tank's coming, isn't it? Yeah, I'm having a blast. So we'll see you tomorrow. Stay awesome.